Hey Monday lovers, today's video is going to be me trying out these alcohol markers from Creative Gallery. I think these are the Creative Gallery alcohol markers from Five Below. So these are Five Below alcohol markers. These were $5 for 6 pens, which is between 83 and 84 cents a pen. So those were really cheap, and I got these in a stationery haul. So if you're interested, that'll be linked in the cards and description box below. So check that out after watching this video. And so far, these are pretty good. We're going to be testing just everything about these pens for calligraphy and for art. So here's pretty much the pen boxes that these come in. As you can see, it says Creative Gallery, although I think that you can only get these at Five Below. And these have a chisel tip, which is really nice. I don't know. And they also have a brush tip. Brush tips are a lot less common in cheap pens. It's like something that you can't get unless it's like expensive. And here's one thing I don't like about these pens. They don't have a cap on the other side, which is kind of annoying. And if it really bothers you when caps don't fit on the other side, then these definitely aren't for you. And these are very cylindrical, so they roll around a lot. And here are some just close-ups with the sound, so I'll leave that on. These aren't so squeaky, like the brush pen isn't so squeaky, but it is still pretty squeaky, especially if you're pressing hard. Like sometimes it's not that squeaky, and then sometimes it can be pretty squeaky. Okay, so next we have the chisel tip, which is super duper squeaky, so I didn't really like how squeaky it was, but I'll just let you hear it. So now the best part, swatching these pens. These pens did not match the colors of their caps. Like, they just didn't. So what I did is I colored a strip of paper, cut it out, and put it around the marker with some tape, and that is pretty much how I'm indicating what color it is. But yeah, these had both a brush tip and a chisel tip, and both tips were really nice. Highly recommend. So now to test for calligraphy. So pretty much I wrote sweater weather because later on in the video I am going to be drawing some tiny little characters and some sweaters. So, and also it is sweater weather at the time that I'm making this. Actually surprisingly not. I don't know, it's been warmer than it normally is. Has it been the same for you? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, it's been sweater weather, and I kind of wrote it because it goes with the colors as well. And so far, my impression is that these work for calligraphy. These aren't hard to use, I wouldn't say that, but these are definitely very soft. They're not like bouncy or anything. They're just like a normal pen, I guess. I don't know, I wouldn't say that these are like super amazing for calligraphy, but they are cheap markers and they are alcohol markers, and they weren't meant for calligraphy, and they do work for calligraphy, and they're not hard to use. I wouldn't say that. I would just say that these aren't like easy to use either. These are just like a normal brush pen, in the fact that you just, like, if you change the pressure, then you should be able to get your thick and thins. But that's that. I don't know, like, people don't necessarily all use like alcohol markers for calligraphy. I'm pretty sure Tombow came up with some alcohol markers that they like advertise as like calligraphy markers as well as alcohol markers, but these aren't normally used for calligraphy, just because that's not what it is, especially because when you think of the industry standard being Copics and how expensive those are, you're not gonna spend like $8 on one pen just to do calligraphy with it. If it's not, like, the whole reason of getting a Copic or an alcohol marker is because they're good at blending, and then you can layer, so you can really do good artwork. But for calligraphy, the amount of layering and blending you can do with water-based pens, and watercolor lettering looks actually so nice. But I thought I might as well try these out for calligraphy, because why not try alcohol marker lettering? I mean, these aren't Copics, so I mean, why not? It's worth it, I think. These blend really nicely. Then the 83 cents that I'm gonna pay for these pens per pen, I mean, these are $5. The $5 I'm gonna pay for these pens, it's worth it in my opinion. And yeah, these did blend pretty nicely. I mean, they had the same problem I always have when I'm blending, is that you can't always get the original color. The color kind of gets darker. Like the bottom color makes the top color darker, and it's like it spreads the entire thing rather than just like blend. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, because that happens a lot. And for weather, an annoying thing happened. It was legible earlier on, but then the ink, I think, spread, I want to say. I don't know, because now it's so much thicker. It was not this thick, and now it's like it was hard to read what it said. Like the whole sweater weather kind of just looked like one clump of like gray, which was kind of annoying. But these do blend. Do you think that you would use these for calligraphy though? I mean, I don't know. And what do you think of sweater weather? I mean, I'm a big sweater weather fan. I don't know about you, but sweater weather is so nice. It's like when you get to wear cozy, comfy clothing, but you don't have to carry around an entire jacket everywhere you go. And personally, I'd rather be hot than cold, but what about you? Would you rather be hot or cold? I mean, I don't know, like being cold, and then like when you're cold and you get in like a blanket, it's so nice. Okay, so now I am going to draw a character by using the skin tones set. So one really nice thing about the skin tone set is that they have this really nice brown color that is really good as a skin tone, but it's also really good as like a hair color, because like a lot of people have brown hair, and you know, brown hair is really pretty. I don't know, like all hair is really pretty. Like I love red hair, I love blonde hair, I love brown hair. It's just, they're all like so pretty, but you know, you can get like this really nice brown color, and I used the second darkest brown for this color ring. You can layer colors like the same color over and over again. It does add darkness, but I'm not very good at that, because then I end up like coloring over the wrong spot, and then the wrong spot is darker, and then I just have to color over the entire thing again. So there's that. But they do good for layering. But you know, I don't know, are you good at shading? I don't know, for me, I am not that good at shading. I cannot shade. Shading is hard. And I don't know, do you like drawing people? I don't like drawing people. Drawing people is not something I enjoy doing. What about you? Do you like drawing people? Is there any person that you like drawing? How do you draw people? Like, let me know how you draw people. What are your tips? I really, because like drawing people, I think would be such a good skill to have, because you can do so much with it, but it's also really hard, especially in the shading of people and just shading in general. Like, it's kind of hard to know where to shade. So I just drew this basic character with basic things to shade. Another reason why I shaded was because obviously if you are testing these for blending, then no better way to test it than by shading. I mean, unless you want Among Us style shading, which is, it's very different, like you can tell where the shading starts and ends. But if you want like a more natural flowing style, then you need markers that blend well together, or if you're using digital art, then you need, you know, like brush settings that work really well together. So blending is very important. So these definitely blended really nicely. These are super satisfying to use. I really liked using alcohol pens. I'm new to the medium. I thought that these would be a good introduction to the medium, considering that these are really cheap. But these aren't, I don't think these are readily available or available in visual sale, because I got these at Five Below from Creative Gallery, which I believe is a Five Below brand. But as you can see, even with the gray tone set, these blended so nicely. I literally cannot explain how nicely these blended together. These, like, I don't know, I mean, I can't compare these to Copics because I've never used them, but to me, when I look at a piece of Copic art, I mean, the art itself is better because it looks better, because the shading's better, but not because the blending is better, because these blended, I think, just as nicely. I also, you know, just think that these just look really nice. I have used like Prismacolors and Ahuhu in general. They're not mine, and I just played around with them a little bit for like from other people's. Like I had permission and I just like used it, and these felt kind of like that, like very, very similar, and these just felt really nice. These do have a smell. It's not horrible, but like all alcohol markers, they have a bit of a smell. So there's that. But these aren't like, so they're not odor free, but their odor to me, I didn't really notice it too much. I did cut the background of these characters later on. Let me know if you do that too, or do you think it was like better with the index card? I honestly think I did that just because it was easier to film that way for me. But yeah, I really liked how these characters ended up looking, and I hope that you also thought that these characters looked good. I'm really sorry that there is no video of me using the chisel tip for blending other than this like one shot. I did film something, I'm pretty sure, but I don't think it actually recorded, which was kind of sad. I was really unhappy about that. But the chisel tips also worked really well for blending. Obviously, it's going to be harder to use than a brush tip, but I don't really use chisel tips in my art. What about you? Do you use them? Do you like actually use your chisel tip? When did you use them? I only used them just to test it out, but they work. Trust me, they work. I used them in the beginning for my intro, so maybe that's helpful. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, then don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. I make new videos on calligraphy, art, and stationery every Monday, and you want to hit the bell so you don't miss a single one. Comment down below on your thoughts on these pens, or you know, if you would buy these pens, or if you want alcohol markers, or your tips on alcohol markers, or what you thought of my characters. I mean, honestly, just comment anything. I really like to comment with you, talk to you through the comments. And like this video, subscribe, comment, and remember to have a happy Monday. I really hope that this video was enjoyable to you. My overall thoughts were that these markers were so good. I really liked them. I mean, for 83 cents a pen, I think that this was definitely a steal. I really hope that Five Below makes more of these markers in different colors so that you could actually make real art with them and not just like black and white. I think if you were to go for one of these sets, then go for the black and white set if you have no other markers, because that way you can make a lot of different colors in black and white. I mean, you could also do that in just like brown, I guess, but black and white just looks like more normal in my opinion. But if you want skin tones, the brown set is really good because it looks really nice. But yeah, that is pretty much it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and comment because those help me out. Hit that bell, and remember to have a happy Monday. Bye bye.